It was budget day in India today. An interim budget was passed, the last budget before the upcoming general election, which is why it's an interim budget. In an election year, the full budget is not presented because a new government will be formed in a few months and they will bring a new budget. So for now, what we have is a plan for the next 2 to 3 months. It basically means that the central government is placing a request to withdraw money to meet expenses for the short term. And yet, it is significant because this budget also sets the tone for what lies ahead. It outlines policy priorities, areas where money will be allocated and schemes that will shape India's growth story. So what does today's budget tell us? What are the focus areas and key takeaways? We've put together 10 highlights for you. Number one is taxation. It's the big talking point in every budget. Everyone wants to know this. How are tax slabs changing? Well, this time, they're not. No change in taxes. Your present income tax slabs remain intact. So if your earning has not changed, you'll continue paying the same amount of tax.
Over the last 10 years, the direct tax collections have more than trebled and the return filers swelled 2.4 times. I would like to assure the taxpayers that their contributions have been used wisely for the development of the country and welfare of its people. I appreciate the taxpayers for their continued support.
In other words, thank you for paying your tax, keep paying it. Same with indirect taxes and import duties, no change in slabs. What about savings? We have something to report on this front. The government will withdraw old income tax demands. These are small and petty notices, they will be taken back. And with this move, 10 million taxpayers will get some relief. Highlight number two, the government wants India to become a developed economy by 2047. They're calling this period the Kartavya Kal, meaning the time to fulfill your duty or kartavya and make India a developed economy in the next 23 years. It's an ambitious target to have, considering the many challenges along the way. Listen to this.
Geopolitically, global affairs are becoming more complex and challenging with wars and conflicts. Globalization is being redefined with reshoring and friendshoring, disruption and fragmentation of supply chains and competition for critical minerals and technologies. A new world order is emerging after the COVID pandemic.
Highlight number three, the government has specified its focus areas. It is paying attention to 4 groups: the poor, the women, the youth and the farmers. Policies are being crafted around these 4 groups to bring about their upliftment.
As our Prime Minister firmly believes, we need to focus on 4 major castes. They are Garib, Mahilayein, Yuva and Annadata. Their needs, their aspirations and their welfare are our highest priority.
And this was a recurring theme throughout the speech. Highlight number 4, the big achievements. Transferring benefits directly to people. The focus is on cutting distribution loss. And here is what the government says it has delivered. More than $110 million to farmers, over $260 billion in loans, and these have been given to 430 million people under the Mudra scheme. Now, these are special loans designed to serve small enterprises, companies that work at the grassroots levels. And like I said, the focus is on direct transfers by the government, eliminating middlemen. This has been mainstreamed. According to the budget, more than $400 billion have been deposited directly into the bank accounts of beneficiaries. This has put an end or minimized leakages and led to savings for the government. 7.8 million vendors have been given credit assistance. Women have been allocated houses under a central government scheme. 70% of all rural houses went to women. So those were the major achievements that the budget talked about. Highlight number 5, tackling multi-dimensional poverty. Now, usually we define poverty on the basis of money. We measure it on the basis of purchasing power, like how much money you earn or spend in a day. But that is just one dimension of poverty. It doesn't capture the full picture. People may feel poor due to a variety of reasons, like when they cannot afford basic necessities like electricity, food or water. when they are forced to pick an inferior school for their child, when they cannot afford proper treatment because of costs. There are many cases where one medical emergency can financially ruin a whole family. These are all different versions of poverty. These people may not be poor by the traditional definition, but they all experience poverty. So what the government is trying to do is this, trying to tackle multi-dimensional poverty through empowerment.
We believe in empowering the poor. The earlier approach of tackling poverty through entitlements had resulted in very modest outcomes. When the poor became empowered partners in the development process, government's power to assist them also increases manifold.
Not just handouts, but empowerment. And the government says it is showing results. In the last 10 years, it is said to have uplifted 250 million people. The idea is to reduce poverty in every shape and form. Number 6, interest-free loans for the youth and housing for all. Listen to this.
For our tech-savvy youth, this will be a golden era. A corpus of 1 lakh crore rupees will be established with 50-year interest-free loan provided. The corpus will provide long-term financing or refinancing with long tenors and low and or nil. I repeat that sentence. The corpus will provide long-term financing or refinancing with long tenors and low or nil interest rates.
Highlight number 7, the government wants to make home buying more affordable. A new scheme is being launched soon. It will focus on the middle class. In addition to this, the government says it will build 20 million houses under a central government scheme, and their construction will take 5 years. At least that is the plan. Highlight number 8, a big push is being made to promote solar energy through rooftop solarization, meaning installing solar panels on rooftops. The plan is to identify 1 crore houses for this. They will be given solar panels and 300 units of free power every month. How does it help? In 3 ways. It will reduce the load on power grids. It will enable transition to green energy and reduce your electricity bill at the same time. If implemented well, these ideas can be game changers. Highlight number 9, fiscal prudence. The government wants to borrow less and spend more. The fiscal deficit target has been set at 5.1%. How will the government balance the books? How will it get the money that it needs to spend on welfare? They're placing a big bet on disinvestment. And they've set a steep target of around $6 billion for this. This is how they'll make money. Highlight number 10, the special focus on women. The finance minister made multiple announcements targeted at women, like on the healthcare front. The government is expanding its universal healthcare scheme. Now, women healthcare workers at the grassroots will get health insurance. They want to encourage vaccination. Reports say the government is in talks to reduce costs for cervical cancer vaccines. They're also focusing on the financial well-being of women. There was an announcement to empower local self-help women groups. Their members are known as Lakhpati Didis or Prosperous Sisters. They're encouraged to pool their resources and harness their skills to earn a minimum of 100,000 rupees every month. That's 1 lakh rupees, hence the term Lakhpati Didi. The government will allocate more money to such groups from $240,000 to $360,000. Prime Minister Modi spoke after the budget speech today, and he called the budget incisive and innovative.
इस बजट में कंटिन्यूटी का कॉन्फिडेंस है। ये बजट विकसित भारत के 4 स्तंभ युवा, गरीब, महिला और किसान सभी को एम्पावर करेगा।
So those were the key highlights of the interim budget 2024.